Okay, and we are back. Lumi and I are here with Siege King or Siege, Captain of Mirkwood. How are you, Siege?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Wishing I had a 5 game match to stream like you guys had. How was that earlier? How are you feeling after that?
It was it's a bit disappointing on the 2-3 loss, but uh, it's all right. Like we're really close.
It was very close. There was a lot of, I don't know, you probably weren't paying any attention to the chat. You were busy, but there was a bit of screaming and yes and no and going on in there.
Yeah, yeah. Between the matches, I checked the chat, and it seems like everyone was hyped for it.
Oh, yeah. You two were very, very close. So, how long have your team been together?
We actually came together for season 1 of Walk the Plank.
So, wait, you were in. All right, I have heard people say that you were in season 1 of Walk the Plank, which.
Yeah, we ended up winning that out to everyone's surprise, like even my own.
All right, please excuse the cat. He's feeling neglected. Anyway, so that was pretty awesome. Were you at all surprised to know that you have been seeded your second seed in the Anarchy division? You're going to the playoffs next week.
It's a bit higher than I expected, but I'm not too surprised. Uh, just I didn't quite think I'd get as high because my team doesn't really practice too much because we're quite busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was only with the team for a few months, and getting everyone together to practice it's a challenge. It is a huge challenge that might make the difference between between making it into playoffs and winning divisions and not though. So you've been doing pretty well with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. So, Lumi, do you have any questions?
No.
Well,
Oh,
I have one. So I know that you guys have been around since season one. I mean, I was there when you guys were playing your matches. It was a much more simpler time back in season one, and now, I mean, season three, it's a lot more different. I mean, we have three divisions, we have two within Academy. How are you feeling about the other teams right now, like going into playoffs next week? Because you haven't have you played against any of the other teams in the other division?
not really. Uh, I'm a bit uh nervous, but that's probably just natural going into playoffs.
Makes perfect sense.
Uh,
Well, you've got a week to prepare. You have a week to arrange any scrims you want between the other division if you want to prepare that way.
yeah, I'm gonna have to get a bit more practice in this week because things are gonna be ramping up going against like the top level teams.
Mm-hmm. Especially since you haven't played them before, so you can watch their matches against other teams in their division, but that which will help you know their comps and maybe allow you to figure out some of those comps of your own, which earlier today you did a double backline comp. I remember that one. How do you think that do you think that would have worked better if you hadn't done that, or do you stand by the double backline comp? That's something you've practiced.
Yeah, it's not uh something that I personally would advocate for. Um, just that Nugget with the Jet Squelcher, he had a lot of success with it, like personally, and so he felt like he could um, pull off using that. Because like there have been times where we were doing some clan blitz or whatever, and he's been playing frontline Jet and it's been working, but he can do some crazy stuff. But I think working more with the team would be better.
All right.
Well,
Good.
that's one of the things transitioning to a league is just you have to learn to play your roles instead of playing as one person. So with the Jet, I mean, it is one of those more mobile backlines, and it does have a lot of potential. And if you work together, I mean, it can be a pretty good double backline comp. So I think you guys could keep going with it if you're confident with it. It seems that it was working out all right. Just needs, more polishing.
Yeah, like going into games, we probably want to stick to one backline until we fix it up and can work with double backline.
All right, so it might be
I
something.
think double backline's the hardest to work with.
Well, sounds like it might be something we'll see from you again in the future, but we won't know for sure yet. I guess I'll find out next week. So,
All right.
I don't want this to go on too long. You've probably got some other places to be, but one more question for you and any more Loom you might have. Why should people root for you next week? And overall win this thing? Besides, of course, you being on it.
Well, we did win season 1, so that was a much simpler